Hello and welcome to a YouTube exclusive, The Most Haunted City on Earth. My name is Madison Timmons.
I'm Chris Soucy.
And I'm JT Timmons.
And today we are going to be talking about an interesting theme that doesn't always arise in the paranormal community, but when it does, it should be addressed in a more like heart-to-heart manner. Let's sit down and talk about something a little serious today.
You're watching a YouTube exclusive.
I'm Madison.
I'm Chris.
And welcome to the most haunted city on Earth.
All right, so we're gonna talk about the death of Dan Rivera, and so I've gotten a bunch of facts together, and I'm gonna read those to y'all, and then y'all can just discuss. So, who he was a senior lead investigator with the New England Society for Psychic Research, NESPR. He was a United States Army veteran and the consulting producer on Netflix's 28 Days Haunted, which I loved. Mm-hmm. That's one of my favorite like paranormal shows. The date and place of his death was July 13th, 2025 in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. He was on a NESPR's Devil on the Run tour featuring artifacts, including the real Annabelle doll, age 54. The cause of death is the Adams County coroner ruled it natural and cardiac related. Police found no signs of foul play. Multiple outlets noted that he had a history of heart issues. Annabelle's proximity to him, the coroner stated Annabelle was not in the room when Dan died. That is important, I feel like.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
To say. And then the community response was colleagues and media urged respect and pushback on the doll did it. Because there were so many people on TikTok trying to just monetize off of this man's death. And we decided that what we were going to do is talk about it months after. And so that's what we're doing right now. So his relationship to Annabelle is important for this discussion. Rivera was one of NESPR's primary handlers and presenters of Annabelle at live events. I'm going to just pass it over to y'all. And, what do y'all think about all of that?
To be quite honest, I feel like this whole situation was a perfect storm in a way because we had already seen the month prior or a couple months prior in New Orleans, the situations that arose that were blamed on Annabelle, the plantation burning twice, the Marie Laveau home catching fire, all these things that were going down when Annabelle was in that position. It raised everyone's, I guess, fear of this entity because it's already a very feared object. It's got quite a history surrounding its lore. People deeming this as one of the most terrifying objects you can come into contact with. And so I think being that it was on tour with this doll and in an extremely haunted location, it was the perfect field, if you will, to put together a sensational story. When the news broke, of course, we were getting tagged in it excessively, which Chris actually made contact with Dan a few times.
I've spoken to him several times on the phone, and he had actually invited us to go up to Gettysburg the year before, to the Paracon that was in Gettysburg the year before. We just couldn't get our schedules in line, and he was very open. He was very, easy to communicate with and quick to respond. So, there was never a time where it was like he's isolated from the rest of the paranormal community. He was very invested in the paranormal community and making sure that everyone had time and space to present, their ideas and to participate. So yeah, the baseline of what's happened is this was a unmitigated tragedy. There is this tragic event, and the tragic event, of course, was overshadowed by speculation because the speculation is about a fervor that was already building, already rolling. There was already so many people saying and talking about the damage that this haunted object can do, and this belief that there is going to be some retribution for removing or handling this this doll in this way. So it's just terrible timing for affording someone peace and respect, because the knee-jerk reaction of many people who do not know the family, do not know the man, do not know the circumstances, is to follow the myth and the legend and to allow that to be the truth for them. And that is the danger of our trade. The trade we are in is legend, and creating legends, dissecting legends, learning about what contributes to our understanding of the supernatural, the paranormal. And here we had an instance where we were called upon almost daily when it happened to comment on it. And it's like, this is not the time to comment on something like this.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not.
You know, there is a family in unspeakable pain. There are friends in unspeakable pain. This is not the time to, put our 2 cents in. We don't have 2 cents to put in. This is something that deserves respect and time. However, it is the community as a whole that is being, sort of called upon to address the fact that we are reactionary beings, and we are quick to see patterns, and we're quick to see how convenient a story this is. And we can't just rush to cash in on the convenience.
Right.
To many people, I think what they saw was validation for all of these fears and all of these notions and all of these dreads, and they thought, I can, because I don't even think I don't think they were cashing in as much as they were
Looking for clout.
Well,
yeah, and things like that.
Even just sensing a validation of their own sensation, that they had sensed that something dreadful was going to happen, and then something dreadful happened. And I'm not even going to say that it was all clout chasing or things like that. It was vindication for them. It was, they're on a fringe of a society suggesting that a doll could kill somebody. And then when something happens that they could easily say, look, I told you, didn't I tell you? Didn't I say so? And that is truly one of the dangers of being in this community, is how quickly we forget that these are human beings at every turn. When we tell ghost stories or we hear ghost stories, we oftentimes are like, God, that's a good ghost story. But the truth of the matter is, a lot of times they're terrible ghost stories, because there are terrible events happening to people. There are terrible things happening to real people having a hard time surviving it. But we recognize the elements of the story and we say, that's a good ghost story. It's like, we've got it backwards. It's a terrible ghost story with a terrible ending, but it makes sense in a lot of ways.
Yeah, and I think what we all should kind of take from this situation is we shouldn't be so quick to jump to paranormal, because if you'll notice, even if you look back on our content, we will always err on the side of paranormal because that is the topic that we speak on. But if something gives, a clear indication that there might be something psychological going on, something health related that's going on, what have you, we do all still need to be grounded in reality here. Though, who's to say something could be going on in some capacity when there are very clear indications that there were prior health conditions. There are reasons logically here of why these things happen. Sometimes coincidences are just actually coincidences, and there's nothing we can do about that. And it's not fair to the community to have other members in the community talking about someone who gave so much to the field right after the day the news breaks that they pass away. To me, that feels icky. And that's not right, because for me, at least, if that was my loved one, I would be immensely disappointed to hear that. And so sometimes when we hear this news, we just need to take a step back, and instead of getting ourselves all riled up, maybe use that time and energy to send positive energy to the family and the loved ones who are now missing somebody, because we can all resonate with that we've all experienced the loss of someone that we love. And that is something that we just need to remember. But yes, so all in all, that is our response to the topic. Hopefully y'all agree with us, and going forward, if this sort of situation does arise again, maybe we will look at it with a different perspective. But that is all that we have for y'all today. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day whenever you're listening to this. And my name is Madison Timmons.
I'm Chris Soucy.
And stay spooky, y'all.